Welcome back to part 2. The break is over and we hope you have used it well. We also hope that you have met some interesting people and gotten some answers to your questions. During this part 2, we are addressing the topic immersive learning and training and how AR and VR is used within this. And we start where it goes wrong. Because crises and unexpected events happen whether we want it or not, but how do we better prepare for them? Again, we meet Inland Norway University, who are researching this topic using AR and XR technology. Geir Ove Vennemyr will talk about what is called a decision support system, DSS, and how to use XR technology in crisis and emergency response training.
Hello, my name is Geir Ove Vennemyr. I am a former naval officer, now an assistant professor at the Inland Norway University of Applied Science at Rena, Norway, where I am a lecturer in crisis management. Today, I will talk about how we use AR and VR and PC, or XR as we call it, in crisis and emergency response training with our students. But first, let us see what we try to achieve here. Here shown by this normative model for effective training methods from Salas, Weilman and Piccolo. These scientists from the University of Central Florida describes a learning cycle with 7 crucial steps to better provide learning outcome after training. However, what we see in organization is that they struggle to evaluate the training and exercises adequately, and they fail to provide sound developmental feedback that actually make the organization learn from what they have been exposed to. We also often see lack of underlying analysis of what the organization need to train for, but that is not the subject of this presentation. I also participate in an Interreg project called CRISIT. This project has partly funded the development of the decision support system, or the DSS, as is my main topic today. In this project, we saw that organizations conduct exercises too rarely. It is resource intensive to conduct full-scale exercises, and that frequent, realistic, small-scale exercises or micro exercises provide better learning outcome than these rare full-scale exercises. So in this project, we identify a demand for complementary IT-supported tools that facilitates short tabletop exercises for both distributed and co-located training audience. It is then important to say that we see this not as a replacement to full-scale exercises, but these micro exercises as complementary to full-scale exercises. That's important. So, how will the use of decision support system in the XR base help in these questions? Well, with the use of DSS, I, as a teacher or game master, can use building blocks in the system, for instance, maps and objects, to pretty easily build different scenarios for use in different platforms. The system provides a common scenario to distributed participants. They don't have to be co-located. And these are often rich scenarios that enables the audience to take in a lot of information swiftly. And for instance, train to build a common picture and situational awareness. An example of what you can see in the illustration here. where we can see a forest fire that might spread or might not spread. But the participants are gathered around a common object, here a map with some figures, and they see the same picture. And of course, the sessions can be taped and stored to enhance feedback quality and learning outcome, and therefore fill the gap illustrated by the yellow and the red circles in my first model. This enables organizations to train for scenarios that rarely take place or are costly to train in full scale, because usually you get very little on-the-job practice with these kind of scenarios. You can also split large, complex scenarios into smaller, focused, and manageable parts that forces training outcome. These can be used as building blocks in a larger exercise process, for instance, a build-up towards an upcoming full-scale exercise. It also brings forward a tool for mass training that support exercise methodology to support training outcome and better learning. Because you can have repeatedly turns, you have the ability to record the session, and hopefully this makes a lower threshold to participate in exercises. All that is supported by the DSS, Decision Support System. Let me show you an example. I'm going to show you a video from the first student experiment with the DSS, where we used the AR goggles HoloLens 1. This was in 2018. A group of students was tasked to plan, execute, and evaluate an exercise. The participants were in different rooms, distributed, and the whole exercise was conducted within the AR goggles. The map you see in the film is a constructed disaster town called Lyngvik, and the scenario is a cruise ship on her way to Lyngvik harbor, lost steering power and heading towards shore. Participants were police, fire and rescue, ambulance, and coast guard. And the main objectives for this exercise was to train communication skills, cooperation, management, and decision making. At the time in 2018, the scenario seemed a bit unlikely, but only a year after, almost the exact same situation took place off the west coast of Norway, when the cruise ship Viking Sky lost her engine power and almost drifted on shore. Unfortunately, the communication and text are in Norwegian, but the film serves a purpose anyway to show you an example on how this can be played out.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. Koster mye, har motortrøbbel, vi har motortrøbbel, og driver mot Lyngvik fyr. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Dette er Lyngvik Radio. Vi har oppfattet mayday, og sender bistand. Mayday relay, all ships, all ships. Cruise vessel Koster mye has engine trouble and heading for Lyngvik Tower. All ships nearby to assist, all ships nearby to assist. Mayday relay, Lyngvik Radio.
Innsatsleder Brann svarer.
Ja, det var innsatsleder helse i felles talegruppe. Jeg bekrefter cruisebåt uten fotograf til
Innsatsleder Brann her. Ja, vi kan vel for så vidt se ut som det er en som er på vei rett inn mot fyret nå.
De landingsplass på andre siden av tunnelen, altså bak den lille bebyggelsen som ligger på andre siden av byen der. Det er satt opp et evakueringspunkt før det, sånn at de som eventuelt blir frakta dit, går gjennom evakueringspunktet først.
Ja, vi har en hjertestans 5 minutter unna din posisjon. Er det noe du kan avse til det, over?
Ja, det er mottatt. Skille 333. Det var 302.
Helse, kommer linjen over.
Ja, vent.
333 svarer.
Ja, 333, da kan dere frigjøres og respondere på stans for AMK.
Ja, det er mottatt 333.
Thank you very much, Gerove. My mom, she knows everything, now also how to communicate digitally. When we talk about AR and VR, that means when I talk about it, she always falls back to, but that's not real, it's fake. Then I try to explain to her that, no, it's not flesh and blood, but the content is real. It's not everything that you don't agree upon that is fake news. There is a lot about talk about fake news these days, but Kayo games are using 3D and AR to provide a realistic and engaging way to learn. Simply put, how could AR and news as simulation change the way we learn and narrate stories? And maybe making learning great again. From Kayo Games from Finland, here is Alida 1G.
Hello everybody, I'm Alida, joining you from Oulu, Finland. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to the conference physically because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but I am equally glad to be able to share my presentation with you virtually. So today, basically, I'll be talking about news as simulation, which is a project that I am working on with a friend, and what we do with AR and how it is changing the way we learn and narrate stories. So let's get right into the presentation. All right, so this is the title of the presentation, How News Assimilation and AR is Changing the Way We Learn and Narrate Stories. So first of all, I'll start by giving you a brief introduction about who we are. So we are a team of two, myself, Alida, and Sila, who is also a co-founder and is also following the conference virtually. So we are two immigrants based in Oulu, Finland, and the News as Simulation project is a relatively young project. We've been working on it for about 1.5 to 2 years, and it's a project under Kayo Games. So under Kayo Games, we are working on different projects, and we plan to work on other projects, but News as Simulation is the one that we are currently focusing on at the moment. So what is News as Simulation about? So basically what we do is that we create simulations to explain news reports, mostly current and hottest news reports. So instead of the traditional way of experiencing the news, we decide to create simulations from the news. So it's actually a different way to experience a news report. And we create 3 types of simulations: normal downloadable games, web-based simulations, and mobile AR and VR simulations. So our very first simulation we created last year, it was the MCAS simulation, which was based on the Boeing 737 MAX crashes that happened last year. So we actually created a simulation, a game. It's a game. So we created a game to explain how the MCAS works. The game is currently available on Steam Early Access. We are finalizing the game by the end of this month. The full version will be available, and it's a downloadable game, and it can also be accessed via web. So that was the very first simulation that we created. And aside from that, we have other AR simulations. So if you go to our website, www.newsasim.com, you're going to see the different simulations AR that we have created so far. So basically what we aim to achieve is just to make learning more fun. So we want to actually suggest a different way of experiencing news. So rather than it's a media platform, I would say, NewsAsim. So rather than experiencing news in the form of listening, so instead of listening to your radio or TV, or reading an article, or listening to a video, or watching a video, we have an alternative, which is actually experiencing it through AR, in the form of AR. And the simulations that we create are interactive and easy to understand. So here we have some of the examples of the AR simulations that we have created. On my left, we have a simulation about the coronavirus and how the symptoms of coronavirus and how it affects the various parts of your body. And on my right, we have a simulation about bees, which is helping users understand their role in pollination and the different parts, the anatomy of a bee. So if you follow the links, you're going to have a link that is going to give you access to the AR version of these simulations. And again, if you go to NewsAsim, you will see other simulations that we have created with AR. So how do we do it? So initially, we started creating our AR simulations with Facebook's Spark AR, but we noticed that there were a lot of constraints. So first of all, we had to submit, after creating the AR, we had to submit it to Facebook for approval, and it could take 1 to 2 days before they could accept it and give us the right to publish. So it was quite long for us. And also we noticed that the simulations, the AR simulations, were not quite stable on every mobile. So for example, on some Android phones, the ARs were a bit shaky, they were not very clear, and they were difficult to understand. So this led us to create and develop our own tool, which we now use to create our AR simulations. And this tool is easy to use, and we don't have to go through a third party for approval. Once we have created the simulation, we can publish the link and give access to our users immediately. And in the future, we plan to also license this tool to third parties or work with third parties in order to create simulations for them. It's with a short tutorial, you can be able to understand how to use the platform and create your own simulations. And it has potential in various sectors, such as education, e-commerce, hospitality sector, for instance, restaurants or even hotels. So that's the plan that we have with this tool. So right now, we say that our platform is mostly mobile, so we are targeting the mobile market because smartphones availability is increasing, and the smartphones have become indispensable in our everyday life. More and more people are getting connected on the internet via smartphones nowadays. So for us, it was we decided to target this sector because there are more smartphones users today, and our platform is responsive. So I mean, it's easy to access our platform. It's easy to use it with your mobile phone, and the ARs are also easily accessible with mobile. And also, what we want to propose with the user simulation is actually an immersive and interactive learning experience for our users. So we want to move away from the traditional method, I would say, of learning into a more digital, a more modern way of learning, which we believe is actually going to help people understand more what a certain information is about. Since you can interact with it, you can access it everywhere you go with just your smartphone and an internet connection. And there's a promising future for mobile AR. Varieties of industries are now utilizing the AR technologies or are planning to. It has already kicked off tremendously across different platforms, and it has started to immerse itself into the mobile space via cameras. We are now looking forward to the day that AR becomes mainstream and compatible through multiple channels for multiple areas such as teaching, entertainment, beauty, and more. So this is basically what my presentation is about. I hope you have been able to understand the message that I am trying to pass across. So I would say thank you for listening, and if you have any questions or any further inquiries, you can contact me via email, and I will gladly respond. Thank you for your time. Bye.
Thank you, Alida, or Kiitos, as you may say in Finland. The Nordic VR Forum is reaching to become better and better each year, and your feedback is significant to reach our goal. So don't hesitate to give us that feedback. Getting better, we all want that, right? Better at singing, driving a car, being a husband. Well, we want to improve. The next speaker is going to talk about ways to improve human performance. Point Media is a Norwegian startup specializing in VR and AR training, especially towards the industry and production sector. They work with simulating experiences, and here to talk about amplifying human performance with AR, I give you Jo Jørgen Stordal.
Hello and welcome to my speech about using augmented reality to amplify the human performance. My name is Joe. I'm leading a company called Point Media. We are based in Oslo, and we are making different solutions for transferring experience to the employees, mainly through head-mounted displays as mixed reality headsets like HoloLens 2. We are using virtual reality like Oculus Quest and HTC Vive for safety training and onboarding. And we're also making augmented reality applications for use in smart devices as smartphones and tablets. So what is AR and MR? Augmented reality and mixed reality. What does a AR or MR headset do? This picture is a VR, virtual reality headset. Everything you experience happens inside the VR headset, so you don't see the outside, you see only what's shown on the display inside the headset. But with AR headset and mixed reality headsets, you see through these glasses. You see through the display. So the headset can place digital information on top of both your physical environment and any physical objects. So with this you can work hands-free and you can see the digital information you need right now and right here in your environment. So for an example, you see this employee, he used the headset and HoloLens, and the HoloLens plays this digital information. It's 3D content, a digital twin of this object, this product, so he can see this object layer by layer. So what I'm going to talk a little bit about today is how this technology is changing the industry, and I'm going to show you some innovative use in the industry sector. So the problem today, there is a skill gap in the workforce, and it's predicted to be even worse. We're moving from the old way to do manufacturing over to a new and more complex way to handle it. New technology are increasing the complexity, and new technology are requiring a higher skill to operate between the industry sector. And it's predicted that 30% of the skilled workers today will reach their retirement age between 5 years from now. And it takes several years for an employee to reach an expert level. So one way to deal with this today is a solution where they use head-mounted display as AR and MR headsets. And there is a lot of AR and different mixed reality headset suppliers out there right now. And this tells us that the market is growing and this market is exploding, and even more headsets are coming every month. Today I will focus on the HoloLens 2 because this is the most wanted device today amongst our client and customers. So how is the industry meeting those problems I just described? They meet this with looking into new technology like augmented reality and mixed reality, because using those headsets, it can help the companies to solving these challenges. Today we see mainly 3 areas of use. They use this kind of technology to guide the employees, guiding them doing complex tasks, where the headset are showing holographic content to guide you the step by step in any kind of process you're now doing. We see they are using it to remote assistance, where an expert can guide you and help you live from anywhere in the world without the expert being there in person. And we see it's using for visualization. That means that we can use any kind of 3D and show it as a hologram. So we are taking the data out from the 2D, from papers or from like a 2D screen, and showing it the way it should be shown, as it there in real life. So I'm going to show you some videos from Microsoft, very good videos showing how they are using and what they can offer and the potential of using mixed reality headset as the HoloLens 2. Let me show you.
The instructions move with the employees, pointing them to the tools and parts they need, showing them exactly where they need to apply them. And with easy-to-author branching, managers can account for all the variables and changing conditions of their operation, allowing employees to get up to speed faster, follow the right procedures with fewer errors, and more confidence. Managers can also leverage guides insights to combine the data generated from doing the work with transactional data, driving optimizations and continuous improvement faster than ever before. All of this is connected to the cloud, so instructions are always up to date, allowing your employees and your business to adapt at the speed of change.
So this is interesting because it's an easy way for the company to make guides, and they use existing 3D content, and then making guidance, so any employees can use a mixed reality headset and get step-by-step guide in how to do their work and even solve problems and maintenance and service. Then the next thing I will show you is how they're using remote assistance. So anyone from anywhere in the world who are an expert in their field can just call these glasses, and they can help the user of the glasses wherever they are. Let me show you.
This is a new vision for work. Now employees can work smarter and bring in the people they need with just a tap. They can troubleshoot, repair, and perform with confidence and speed. They can move freely, pull critical information into view, and stay focused on the task. Their hands free to do the work. This is collaborative problem solving at full speed. Your people, united across time and distance, more connected, more informed, and more efficient. Now employees can work together from anywhere. They can go there without being there. This isn't the future. This is here and now.
And at the last, let me show you an example on how it is used in visualization. This is what mixed reality is all about, to take the 3D content, to take the digital information, like any object in the world who are made and manufactured or built today have a digital twin in some kind of form. And you can use that data, you can use those 3D models, and you can show it as a holographic content. You can actually see the building before it's even built on the area several months before. You can see it as a hologram, and you can take your clients, your customer, your project leaders and walk through it in advance. So let me show you another example on how they're using the HoloLens to show 3D content in the construction industry.
And you can understand what's really happening.
We can see, hey, we're behind, so we can flag the issue and look into the problem and adapt the schedule to get back on track.
So that's where the efficiency comes in. We've compressed the time of understanding of a drawing or a Gantt chart to basically instantaneous understanding. The models that our customers produce are of massive scale and complexity. The only way we can really effectively get that kind of complexity into an experience on the HoloLens is to leverage the cloud. This is where Azure GPU really comes into play. That is what enables us to finally deliver an experience in the field.
So, the solution to the problem I was talking about in the start is that using head-mounted displays, they contain all the tools any of the employees need. and a digital tool. The head-mounted displays can give the employees freedoms, so they can work hand-free. They are not, they shouldn't use like tablets or smartphone when your hand is always busy holding the phone. When you can get the same information in the headsets, working hands-free. It provides you and gives you the data you need right now, right here, so you can make faster and more correct decisions. The displays can provides expert guidelines to a non-expert, and it takes the complexity out of the 2D screens like papers and screens, and it show you this in an intuitive way. So we are moving from the old way doing the work to a more complex way of doing our work, but with the displays like mixed reality headset, we solve all those challenges. So that was all I had today. If you have any questions, please contact us regarding AR, MR or VR technology. And you can also find more information on our product sites. So please take a screenshot or a picture of this slide. Okay, thank you for your time. Bye.
Thank you, Jo Jørgen. My wife, hope you until next time will make something that will amplify the husband performance as well. Please do. Breaks, they were taken in the past, there will be breaks in the future, and we're having one right now, ending part 2 for today. For you guys live in Hamar, there will be lunch and mingling with distance, of course, in the hall. And for those who are with us digitally, bring your lunch into the virtual world right here on Onvent. Here it will be digital stands as well, so make sure to visit them. At 1:15 Norwegian time, we will be back with more presentation regarding immersive storytelling. So, thank you, so long. See you at 1:15.